everybody. Welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Shane.
And I'm Karen. Today we are looking at part 2 of Jinguashi and Jiufen after the gold rush. So we already learned that there was a lot of gold in Jinguashi and Jiufen, and that's why there was a gold rush. But right now, it's still very popular because people want to go there. We can enjoy a lot of beautiful scenery, right?
It's a great tourist attraction.
Yes.
And that's one of the first places I went when I was new to Taiwan. And I mean, I just love it. It's just like so. There's something very romantic about it because
really romantic.
Because of like the nostalgia. You just feel like you're going back in time.
True.
And there's like these wonderful views. But when it's crowded, it is the worst. It is the worst because it gets so crowded because the streets are so narrow.
Exactly, because I really love visiting Jiufen. But then the old street, it's really fun, but then the street is so narrow, especially when you go and visit on the weekend.
Oh, forget it.
And it's really difficult to walk up the stairs or walk down. Everyone is kind of like pushing their way through.
And have you ever gone when it was raining?
Oh my goodness.
It's just crazy. You're getting hit in the face with umbrellas and water's getting all over you. Oh man.
But I do have to say though, despite all the, inconvenience when you're walking because it's so narrow, I love the food there.
Oh,
it's still really fun to kind of, check out all the shops and enjoy the yummy, yummy food in Jiufen.
Yes, so I think I would suggest going on a weekday to avoid the crowds.
You're right.
And then you can really enjoy it and take it in and not feel like you're a sardine smushed into a can.
But I also heard that if you go there at night, it's really pretty because of all the lanterns.
I've heard that too, but I haven't been in the night.
Well, you should take your dad.
Yeah, we should go and stay. You're coming along, don't forget, right? And we'll stay there until the evening.
All right, that's a good idea.
But first, let's continue the lesson.
With its atmospheric streets, amazing views, and delicious snacks, Jiufen is considered one of Taiwan's most charming tourist spots. It's famously featured in the film A City of Sadness, and its buildings date back to the days when gold miners filled the streets. Jiufen Old Street is the main attraction of this mountain city. On this narrow street, visitors will find stores selling everything from candy to hand-painted postcards. However, the real star of the show is the food. Jiufen's food stands are famous for their meatballs, stinky tofu, and Hakka sticky rice cakes, among countless other treats. Jiufen Old Street also has excellent restaurants where visitors can enjoy magnificent views of Keelung Harbor while snacking on taro balls or beef noodles.
Okay, so Jinguashi and Jiufen after the gold rush, part 2.
That's right. So we're going to learn more about Jinguashi and Jiufen, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's begin. With its atmospheric streets, amazing views, and delicious snacks, Jiufen is considered one of Taiwan's most charming tourist spots. Wow.
It is really charming. So earlier I was saying that's like kind of romantic. I guess probably charming is a better word to describe that feeling that you have when you're there.
That's right.
And so charming just means very pleasing or appealing. It just makes you, when you're there, you feel like you get sucked into its beauty.
Exactly.
So for example, we stayed in a charming hotel with a great view of the ocean.
And we also looked at this word atmospheric. When you're saying you're using this word, it actually also means that creating something like a pleasant or exciting feeling or mood.
And you can say like this place has a really great atmosphere. Right? If the place has, you can say that restaurant has great atmosphere.
And that's a noun.
Right, that just means the feeling there that it feels really nice.
Very
right?
pleasant.
Okay, so continuing. It's famously featured in the film A City of Sadness, and its buildings date back to the days when gold miners filled the streets.
Ooh, have you watched this movie before?
I've never seen that movie, so it's a famous Taiwanese movie.
I think it's a famous Taiwanese movie, but unfortunately, I haven't seen it either.
I haven't, yeah, so maybe we need to go and see that movie.
That's right.
So continuing, Jiufen Old Street is the main attraction of this mountain city. Right, so if you're going to Jiufen, right, if you don't go to the old street, then you haven't really been to Jiufen, right?
Exactly. So you have to visit. So it's one of the attractions.
Yes.
So attraction is a noun. So basically, it just means something interesting or enjoyable that people want to visit or see or do. So oftentimes you go to different countries or different cities, you will want to visit different attractions. Like in Taipei, there's Taipei 101. If you want to go to Jiufen, that's the old street, right?
Right, so to attract means to draw something towards something else.
Exactly.
Right?
So the tourists really want to go and see it.
They feel attracted, it pulls them in.
So in our example sentence, it says the city's main attraction is a 25-meter tall wooden apple. So this is one of the attractions that people would definitely want to go and see.
Yeah, and if you want to use it as an adjective, you could say, Karen, you are very attractive.
And I am very attractive. And you are too. Okay, to continue. On this narrow street, visitors will find stores selling everything from candy to hand-painted postcards. Definitely right. Have you been to one of those shops? And then they sell a lot of unique things, right?
Yeah. Actually, when I went there, my friend bought one of these handmade postcards.
Ooh.
They're really special, right?
That's right.
And they're handmade. That's really rare these days.
That's a really great souvenir to buy for your friends back home, right? So, however, the real star of the show is the food, of course.
Right.
Jiufen's food stands are famous for their meatballs, stinky tofu, and Hakka sticky rice cakes, among countless other treats. Have you ever tried the Hakka sticky rice cakes?
I have. They're really good, but they're really sticky.
Exactly, but then they have like the preserved radish on the inside, and it's not sweet, it's very salty, right?
Right.
And I think in Taiwanese it's called cao gui.
Oh, wow, look at you.
Yay! I'm an expert.
Probably my favorite thing, though, when I go there is I really like, and the first time I ever had it, this thing was in Jiufen, is the peanut ice cream.
Oh!
And it's like rolled up in like a little, like a rice, like a very thin rice cake kind of a thing, or tortilla, I don't know in Chinese what it's called. But you wrap up the ice cream and they even put some cilantro in there.
Oh,
it's
I
so
know.
Special.
Yes, you can see that, in Jiufen.
Yeah, so cilantro is like 香菜, right?
香菜.
Wow, so good. Okay, continuing. Jiufen Old Street also has excellent restaurants where visitors can enjoy magnificent views of Keelung Harbor while snacking on taro balls or beef noodles.
Oh, while snacking on the taro balls. Have you ever had it before?
Of course.
I love the taro balls. I think they're really, really yummy. It's a great snack to have after you have your meal.
Right, and we have a vocabulary word here, magnificent. So if we say something is magnificent, we just mean it's very beautiful or it's very impressive. It's great, it's awesome. For example, the king lives in a magnificent palace that is surrounded by tall brick walls.
Wow, so that means a really beautiful, wonderful, right, castle.
Yes, so Jiufen is absolutely magnificent.
Definitely, and we're going to take a short break right now and learn more about it after the break.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。第一天的课程介绍了金瓜石，那么今天就是要介绍九份哦。九份被认为是台湾最迷人的旅游景点之一，那边有充满情调的街道、很棒的景色，还有美味小吃。那首先我们就来逛九份老街，在这条狭窄的街道上呢，店家有卖各种商品，从这个糖果啊到手绘的明信片都有。不过这边真正的主角是食物啦，九份的小吃摊以肉丸、臭豆腐、超阿贵等等无数的美食而闻名，然后也有很棒的餐厅可以让你一边吃芋圆啊，或者是牛肉面，然后一边欣赏着基隆港壮丽的美景。 Karen 老师刚刚有提到这个草仔粿可能是萝卜丝口味，我们说那个菜包米的口味，他就有提到 radish 这个字 ，radish，radish 就是萝卜，像我们可以用 radish cake 来表达萝卜糕。好，那么 Shane 老师则聊到花生卷冰淇淋。老师不知道这个食物的名称，可是他有很努力的描述给我们听。他说有点像是那种墨西哥薄饼的东西，然后包着冰淇淋，还有包着香菜。好，补充一下，老师说这个 tortilla 就是墨西哥薄饼，还有提到 cilantro 就表示芫荽叶、香菜叶，很多人都讨厌这东西吧？好，我们来看看单字 charming， 它是形容词，形容迷人的、美丽的。那么 attraction 这个名词则是指景点、名胜或是吸引人的事物，它的相关词性是 attractive， 是形容漂亮动人的、有吸引力的或是吸引人的。再看到 magnificent， 它是形容宏伟壮丽的、令人印象深刻或是极好的。好，那这时候老师也提到一个类似的用字叫 awesome，awesome，那它可以形容令人赞叹、非常棒的。我们再补充一下，有一个补充单字叫做 atmospheric， 它是形容富有情调的，或者是形容大气或大气层的。那这边一个重点，我们要进入文法时间。好，我们来看这个重点是动词 consider 可以表示认为，把什么什么视为。那我们来看常用的句型。好，它主动的句型呢，我们可以用主词加上 consider somebody or something。To be 再加名词或形容词，其中的 to be 可以省略。例如 ，He considers himself to be a genius。He considers himself a genius， 两种都可以，也就是说他认为自己是个天才。那再看被动的句型，你可以用 somebody or something be considered， 后面直接接名词或形容词。例如 Black cats are considered unlucky in some cultures， 在某些文化中，黑猫被认为是不吉利的。好，这些话课文中。
A short walk from Jiufen Old Street is the Shunping Theater, the first theater in northern Taiwan. Constructed during the 1930s, the Shunping Theater remains popular today because it's an excellent example of an early 19th century theater. In fact, the theater has original movie posters, antique projectors, and wooden benches to help recreate the retro movie watching experience. Jinguashi and Jiufen were important cities during the gold rush of late 19th and early 20th century Taiwan. Today, the towns continue to be valued as great places to spend a vacation.
Okay, so before the break, pretty much we're talking about all the delicious food that you can get in Jiufen.
That's right.
So what else can we do if we're in there? So now we're full, we've got food in our belly, maybe we even took a little nap. Now we're ready to see the rest of Jiufen. What do we do?
Let me tell you. A short walk from Jiufen Old Street is the Shunping Theater, the first theater in northern Taiwan.
The very first theater in all of the north of Taiwan.
Exactly. So it's very,
cool.
very old. It has a lot of history, right? So it must look really, really cool.
So cool. So constructed during the 1930s, the Shunping Theater remains popular today because it's an excellent example of an early 19th century theater.
Which looks really different from our movie theaters nowadays, right?
Right. So I haven't been there. I've seen a couple of pictures. Have you been there?
I have actually been there.
Wow, so you have been somewhere in Jiufen besides just eating food.
That's right. I remember going.
Let me guess. Somebody took you there. It wasn't your idea. You wanted to go eat, and then somebody said, let's go visit the theater?
Okay, but it was pretty cool. Yes,
Okay,
somebody
okay.
suggested it, and I said, okay, let's go. So I went, and it was very cool. And I noticed that the theater is very different from our movie theaters nowadays, the modern ones. Okay, so let me tell you this word, the vocabulary word to construct.
Okay.
So it means to build or make, something physical, such as like a road or bridge or building. So in our example sentence, it says, to construct the model bridge, I'll need wood, glue, and scissors. So basically what I'm saying is that to build the model bridge, I would need wood, glue, and scissors.
Right, so to construct, to build, kind of synonyms, right?
Exactly.
Okay. In fact, the theater has original movie posters, antique projectors, and wooden benches to help recreate the retro movie watching experience.
Ooh, retro movie watching experience. What does that mean?
So he says something is retro, it means something from the past, usually the more recent past, not like ancient times.
That's right.
And it's something that was in fashion or the style at that time. So if you want to refer to the style of a time past, maybe a couple decades ago, you could say, wow, it's so retro. Okay, so we have a vocabulary word poster here. So a poster is a usually large printed notice, often having a picture on it that is put in a public place. And usually it's to advertise something.
That's right.
But sometimes these things can be drawn by hand. So
exactly.
I imagine at that theater back then, they didn't have like a big printer to print it. They probably had to draw it by hand. Right?
Exactly. Like really, really old movie posters, I think they were all painted by hand. So it's really interesting to look at because it's so different from our movie posters nowadays.
So cool. And so, for example, you could say Marco collects old concert posters. So if they're old enough, probably they're also drawn by hand or painted by hand.
Maybe.
Neat.
Okay, well, let's continue. Jinguashi and Jiufen were important cities during the gold rush of late 19th and early 20th century Taiwan. Today, the towns continue to be valued as great places to spend a vacation. So these two places they continue to be valued. Right. If you value something, that means you view it as something precious, something great.
Something important.
Exactly. So Jiufen and Jinguashi are definitely being valued even today, right?
Yeah, I really think that if you're going to be showing a tourist someplace that's right outside of Taipei, like for a day trip, I think on the top of everybody's list is Jiufen, right?
Exactly. Okay, but we do have a what do you think question
Okay.
for you and everybody. How would you describe Jinguashi and Jiufen to someone who has never heard of them? I mean, you're taking your dad, right? And your dad has never been to Jiufen and Jinguashi. How would you describe these places to him?
Yeah, so I would probably say, hey, Dad, let's go to Jinguashi and Jiufen. And he said, what can we do in Jinguashi? I said, well, Jinguashi is pretty much famous for its natural beauty.
Yes.
And they have an excellent gold museum there, so you can really get a feeling for why everybody went there in the first place.
That's right.
As for Jiufen, I would say, Dad, it's time to get some delicious food and look at the beautiful view of like the valley and the ocean out there. And I would say, yeah, we have to do both.
Exactly. I think Jinguashi, and they're so close by, right? If you go to Jinguashi, you should definitely go to Jiufen too. I really want to go to the Golden Waterfall in Jinguashi.
Oh, absolutely, because neither one of us have done that yet.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we can get some gold.
Oh, yeah.
Is that possible?
Well, we'll try.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have for today. And I hope you really enjoyed learning about Jinguashi and Jiufen. And we'll see you guys next time.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
升平戏院距离九份老街只有短短一小段路，那它是北台湾第一间剧院，建于1930年代，那是19世纪初期剧院的绝佳例子。这间剧院呢，就有最早的电影海报啊，有古董投影仪，还有木质长椅，可以帮忙重现复古的观看影片的这种体验，非常值得一游。我们来看看单字 construct， 它是动词，表示建造或者是构想的意思。那 Shane 老师提到 construct 和 build 有一点算是同义字。那老师说的这个 synonym 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 就表示同义字。好，再来 poster 它是指海报。那补充单词 antique 它是形容古董的或是古老的，它也可以当名词来表达古董或是古玩。然后 projector 它是放映机、投影机，所以文中它用这个 antique projectors 用来指说古董投影仪的意思。再来 retro 这个形容词则是形容复古的、怀旧的。 好，那这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看这个重点是主词补语的倒装用法。我们要强调主词补语，或者是当主词它带有较长的修饰语时，常常会把主词补语移到句首，那再将主词跟动词进行倒装。以句型来看，假设原本的句型是主词加上 be 动词加主词补语。好，那我们现在把补语拉到前面，经过倒装后就变成主词补语加 be 动词加上主词。举例来说 ，A woman wearing a red dress is standing by the side of the stage. 一名身穿红色洋装的女子站在舞台旁边。好，那现在呢，我们如果把这个补语 standing by the side of the stage 拉到前面，拉到句子前面呢，然后进行倒装，就变成 standing by the side of the stage is a woman wearing a red dress. 好，那么以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
With its atmospheric streets, amazing views, and delicious snacks, Jiufen is considered one of Taiwan's most charming tourist spots. It's famously featured in the film A City of Sadness, and its buildings date back to the days when gold miners filled the streets. Jiufen Old Street is the main attraction of this mountain city. On this narrow street, visitors will find stores selling everything from candy to hand-painted postcards. However, the real star of the show is the food. Jiufen's food stands are famous for their meatballs, stinky tofu, and Hakka sticky rice cakes, among countless other treats. Jiufen Old Street also has excellent restaurants where visitors can enjoy magnificent views of Keelung Harbor while snacking on taro balls or beef noodles. A short walk from Jiufen Old Street is the Shunping Theater, the first theater in northern Taiwan. Constructed during the 1930s, the Shunping Theater remains popular today because it's an excellent example of an early 19th century theater. In fact, the theater has original movie posters, antique projectors, and wooden benches to help recreate the retro movie watching experience. Jinguashi and Jiufen were important cities during the gold rush of late 19th and early 20th century Taiwan. Today, the towns continue to be valued as great places to spend a vacation.
Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Winnie.
And we are playing Guess the Bear. We each have 3 cards with sentences on them, and a word or phrase in each sentence has been replaced by the word bear. So we each have 1 minute to guess the bear. Winnie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's put 1 minute on the clock. Your first word is a verb. It will take about 5 years to bear a new concert hall. This building was bared in the early 20th century.
Build. Renovate.
Very close.
Okay.
Okay. Your next one is a noun. Sarah has several concert bears hung up in her room. New movie bears are put up in the theater weekly.
Posters.
Yes, poster. Okay, the last one is a phrase, 3 words. This is Baird, the best medical university in the world. Stephen Hawking is Baird, one of the greatest scientists of our time.
The world's greatest? By far?
3-word phrase.
Okay, next one maybe. Go back to the first one.
Okay. Verb. It will take about 5 years to bear a new concert hall. Okay, so the first one that was a verb was construct. It will take about 5 years to construct a new concert hall. This building was constructed in the early 20th century. And then that last one, that was a phrase. 3 words. Consider to be. This is considered to be the best medical university in the world. Stephen Hawking is considered to be one of the greatest scientists of our time.
Got it. Okay. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. On the clock and go. Okay. Adjective, 1 word. We stayed in a bare little hotel on Main Street. This area is famous for its many bear cafes.
Cozy?
Nope.
Intimate?
Nope.
Unique? Okay, I'll pass.
Okay. Noun, 1 word. Some of Taipei's big bears are night markets. The countryside is full of unusual tourist bears.
Attraction?
Nice. Adjective, one word. The pharaoh built a bear pyramid in the desert. The colors in this painting are simply bear.
Magnificent?
Nice. Okay, last one. Okay. Adjective, right? One word. We stayed in a bare little hotel on Main Street. This area is famous for its many bear cafes.
Quaint?
No.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll read it one more time. Oh, never mind. Okay, so the word was charming.
Okay.
We stayed in a charming little hotel on Main Street, or this area is famous for its many charming cafes. That one's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because there's so many words that could fill that.
Maybe.
Yeah, but good try.